Hi, Anonymous Transition here. So first and foremost, I need to give a shout out to my buddy Zach, who is the first and only subscriber to my channel so far. It's most likely a paid subscription because he's just being my friend and being a good friend and subscribe to my channel. But I appreciate it either way, so thank you Zach, you're the bomb. Now to this video. So I'm going to be explaining the framework that I've came up with and used myself to guide me in my transition journey, if you will. And it's divided into two phases, phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1 is all about getting to where you're passable with cross-dressing, and you've also explored whether or not you want to transition. Now, I feel like it's important to do this before you go into phase 2, which is actually transitioning with hormones and name changes and basically living your life as the opposite sex. Because, for one, it's really important, I feel like it's really important to be comfortable going out in public before you proceed to phase 2. I think it should be pretty self-explanatory why, but it'll just make the whole process a lot easier and a lot smoother. And it's also really important to explore whether or not you actually want to transition, because if you're like me and you had a lot of doubts, like, that's something you really want to get worked out before you start taking hormones, you know. And once you start taking hormones, you know, a lot of changes can happen that are kind of irreversible, like growing boobs, for example. So you really want to be sure that this is something that you want to do, you know. And in future videos, I'll be going more in depth with some of the things I've used for phase 1 and phase 2. Including the how to do it in secret part, of course. So I'll be telling you how to hide clothes and how to take voice lessons in secret. I can also give you a reference to my amazing voice therapist, who I'll put in the description box below as well. And also give you, I would recommend exploring therapy, but I also need to do a video on how to find a good therapist and how to train your therapist, which is actually very important. I'll explain that later. But I also be very happy to share some questions I asked myself. They're actually very simple questions, but it was really insightful as to whether or not I wanted to transition. But coming attractions, as far as phase 2 is concerned, I'll be explaining how to hide boobs, for example, and also be exploring, well, this kind of ties back to phase 1, but I'll also be exploring some alternatives to SRS if you don't feel like that's not what you want to do. Like me, for example, because I think it's really risky. It's more risk than I'm willing to take, and I actually wear a latex vagina almost every single day. I'll put a link to the description box below if you want to check it out and buy one yourself. But I feel like that's really helpful for me with dysphoria, and it's also, well, pretty risk-free, you know, so you can take it off anytime, right? Use baby powder though, because you can get, well, a baby rash. Baby rash, is that what it's called? Diaper burn? Diaper rash, that's it. But yeah, so I mean, that's about all I have to say for now about the framework of transitioning that I came up with. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below in the comment section. And if you'd like to see more content, subscribe to my channel. Anyways, this has been Anonymous Transition, signing off in secret.